Hi guys, it's Kimberly, the Modern Mess Princess. What is a modern mess princess? It's somebody who realizes that life is messy sometimes, and we bring that out into the open, we just talk about it, take the shame away from it, and realize that our true identity doesn't live in our mess or in our perfection, but it lives in who Jesus says we are. And he says we're beautiful and that we're a princess. That's a modern mess princess. You might be one too. So I want you to take this little journey today with this thought about New Year's. So at the end of 2016, I noticed everybody posting, oh, thank goodness this year is done. It's over. Whew, it was miserable. Terrible year. Everybody died. There were so many deaths. And like, it was just, people were just like, I'm so done with 2016. I'm so done. And and people were excited about New Year's Eve parties and all that. And that happens, but it seemed to be kind of more extreme this year. Kind of just really prominent that people were really done with 2017 or 2016 and ready to move on. And it made me think about what's so magical about the new year, 2017, that makes everybody go, yuck, 2016, yay, 2017. Because literally, it's just a 1 second tick on the clock to midnight. That's literally all it is, right? So what is magical about that little 1 second tick when the clock strikes midnight, other than we don't turn into pumpkins because our fairy godmother doesn't make us do that. We get to stay a princess. But anyway, other than that, what makes that little 1 second tick so magical that changes our entire focus from that year was terrible, can't wait to leave it in the background and move on, to this year is going to be fantastic? It's your mindset. That's all it is. It's not a date, but that date has become symbolic. So for some people, anniversaries, whether good or bad, anniversaries of a death, anniversaries of a birth, anniversaries of a marriage, anniversaries of a divorce, those all become really important dates, not because the number they are on the calendar, but because of what they symbolize to us. So what happened if your New Year's week, this whole last week, was kind of miserable? Does that dictate how 2017 is going to go? Because we were kind of looking at the end of 2016 with all those celebrity deaths and going, this is a bad year. I can't wait to get rid of it. I had a pretty rough start to 2017. I had a mito crash, which is my chronic illness, which means I can't get out of bed and everything hurts and I have migraines and just miserable. And so I had a mito crash, and turns out I got a virus on top of that, so I got really sick, like scary sick. When you know what your really sick level is and then you get sicker, that's kind of scary. So I was at that scary sick point, and not sure when my body would pull out of it. And that was not a fun way to start the new year. I was stuck in bed in my room and missing out on time with my family, missing out on time with my husband who had the week off, missing out on the boys' friends who came over to hang out that I haven't seen in a long time, and I wanted to see them and say hi to. 2017 started out really cruddy, like really cruddy. Sick in bed cruddy. Now, with that same thinking, 2016 was miserable, 2017 is going to be great. What happens if I take that mindset and think that it's that 1 second click on the top clock that makes this new year special? Then frankly, guys, I'm gonna have a rough year, but I don't think I am. And that's because that 1 second click on the talk I can't talk, I'm still not totally myself. That 1 second click on the clock to midnight can happen any hour of any day, of any minute, of any week, of any month, in any year. So all we have to do is reset our minds. So if we're having a rough time, we don't have to wait to the new year to have a whole new clean start. Yeah, that's symbolic and I love it, and I always kind of embrace the new year, and it does feel kind of new and fresh. But honestly, it's just a symbol for us all. It's just a date on the calendar. But it symbolizes something, and it symbolizes hope and fresh and newness. But we get to wake up to that every day. The Bible says every morning is a new morning. Every day is a new day that God ordained. So yesterday has come and gone. It's done. I'm done with those days stuck in bed. Will they happen again sometime? Probably. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll get healed. Maybe I'll never have another mito crash again. So why worry about it? I'm not going to worry about it. That's not going to define my 2017. What's going to define my year is what God tells me. And God tells me that I'm his princess. God tells me that he has a hope and a future, plans to help me and not to harm me. He says he'll use the hard things and turn them into good for his purposes. Like, we've got tons of promises, people, that even when your new year sucks, there's a whole lot of hope to be had in that new year. So that's the good news. So I want to just challenge you guys for the next, let's over the weekend or whenever you're watching this, for about 2 or 3 days, think about your mindset and where your mind focuses. Because if it focuses on the negative things, like, oh my gosh, 2016, Carrie Fisher died, and then her mom died, and George Michael died, and Alan Thicke died, and all these people, and then we had this illness in my family, and we had, we can focus on the negative, or we can go, oh my gosh, I saw way more people and friends on Facebook have brand new babies and celebrate birthdays than I saw deaths. I saw people celebrating fun times with their family, trips and holidays and things like that, way more than I saw miserable stuff. It's all in what we focus on. And yeah, I get it. People aren't going to post all their bad days on Facebook. But again, that's kind of symbolic. Like, what are we focusing on? Facebook generally focuses on the positive. And I'm not saying to put on your rose-colored glasses and be a Pollyanna and ignore the hard stuff. No, we have to acknowledge the hard stuff. Otherwise, we're just, life isn't really the way it is, because life is hard. But it doesn't define us, and it doesn't define the rest of our days. So if your New Year's start was rough, or it just wasn't what you wanted it to be, maybe you had plans to get some job done or clean your house or meet with friends, or even maybe your New Year's plans didn't go as you wanted or something, or maybe you've had a rough week, or maybe something really big and rough did happen. One thing God does promise is that life is going to be a mess, but he also promises that we're a princess, and that's where our identity can lie, and that's where our focus can lie. So is my 2017 shot because the first few days I was sick in bed and miserable? My 2017 is going to be a good one, and I know yours will too, and we'll figure out how to focus on that together. See you later, princess.